Hey friends, it's Missy again. Thanks for joining me today. I'm back with a new layout for the Precious Remembrance Shop, and I'm going to be using stamps from two different stamp sets. This is the Oh So Fun stamp set, and I'm going to use that tall mason jar, and then I'm going to use a small stamp from the date stamp set. So I pulled out this stamp set because I hadn't used it yet, and I was in the mood to do some watercoloring. And I'm just going to tell you right now that this layout is kind of random, and I'm still trying to kind of make sense of why I chose the pictures to go with this layout. It's kind of just one of those layouts. I just had fun making it, and it really doesn't have reasoning behind the shapes or the design. So hopefully that won't drive you too crazy. But I was just in the mood to use my, I can never say this right, they're the Japanese watercolors, Kuretake Gansai Tambi watercolors. I'm probably butchering that. But I just wanted to use them, and I wanted to try and use one of the stamps that would take the watercolor well, since I wasn't using an actual ink pad. And this one worked really, really well. And I don't even really know how to use mason jars in a correct way on a layout. You know, I don't really make cards that often, but I just kind of went on a stamping frenzy here using my watercolors, and I love how these turned out. I love that they're kind of imperfect, but you can definitely tell what the shape is. And look how dirty my acrylic block is. It's very, very stained. I think this is the only one I've ever owned, so I've used it for a long time. But anyway, off topic. I kind of just decided to make rainbow effect here. So I started with blue, and you know, blue is not the first color, but that's okay. I just kind of was experimenting here. I didn't even know at this point if this was going to work out. So I went ahead and started filming it, and I made some blue, green, yellow, orange, and red, and then I made a few with multiple colors, kind of like a red and blue, and then some pink and some yellow. So just some different ones. You know, sometimes it's fun to just experiment and play around. And this is just some plain 8.5 by 11 white cardstock. Nothing special. I hadn't really even planned on doing a lot of watercolor. I just wanted to use it on this stamp. And I love how it turned out. So you can probably guess, yes, I'm going to fussy cut. I've been on a fussy cutting tear lately, and I was going to fussy cut all of these jars out and somehow use them on a layout. But before I got into it, I thought, I want to watercolor some more. And so I thought I'm going to make these look a little more realistic and kind of do some shading and some matching colors. And so I take some time and do this. And yeah, it was kind of fun. It was just fun to color. And I know a lot of people do art journaling and things like that, and I've just never really taken the time to do it. And this was a lot of fun. I know this is not art journaling, but it was fun to kind of create my own shapes and just play with the watercolor. I'm definitely not an expert on this kind of thing, but it was fun to just experiment and try to blend some different colors together and see what looks I could come up with. And I love how this looks. It's just a little bit of paint and water, and then I dab it up and kind of create some depth and dimension with these jars. So there they all are. I love how they look. This looks like it could be a really cool pattern paper, but I'm going to fussy cut them out. Well, not all of them, and I don't wind up using all of them. But yeah, it's an easy shape to cut out, and this is a great thing to do with your stamps. If you don't want to stamp directly onto a background or pattern paper, you can stamp it on a sheet like this and then cut it out, and you basically have your own embellishment to, you know, put wherever you want. You could stamp on foam and cut it out and kind of make your own puffy sticker in a sense. So yeah, here's all the jars. Now I'm gonna just sort of arrange them on this white cardstock, and I have a couple of pictures here. I wanted to use a color picture. I tried a black and white one, and it just kind of, I don't know, I wasn't in the mood. It wasn't vibing for me, and so I thought I'm going to decide between this one picture of me and Reese at the pool or the two pictures of Reese looking at leaves. And neither one of these pictures has anything to do with mason jars, and that's where the random part comes in. Usually if I make a layout about leaves, then there's some leaves on the page. Or if I'm going to use a pool photo, then it's going to be kind of summery and sunny. And where the heck did mason jars come from? I don't even know. I just wanted to use that stamp, and the layout was born. Did they have to make sense? No. I like for them to make sense. I have a hard time using things on a layout that don't relate to my theme or to the picture. But this one, it just sort of happened and I just went with it, and I think it's okay. You know, it doesn't always have to be exactly, I guess what I'm saying is sometimes when you set rules for yourself, you know, you say, I'll never do that. I'll never do this on my page. And then all of a sudden you find yourself doing it and you're like, I wasn't supposed to do that. That's not right. But the truth is there's no right or wrong way to do it. And it's okay if you make a random page. If you like it and it was fun to make, it looks cute, so be it. That's my rant for the day. And that's not really a rant, but yeah, that's just kind of what was going through my head. Now, I'm going to wind up not using this picture, but I think I'm going to use it at first. Something about it just didn't gel with the mason jars, I guess. So I took the picture away and just thought, well, I'll just work on the background a little bit more. And so I decided to add some splatters. And right away I thought, should I have done that? I don't know if that looks great or not, but it winds up looking okay, I think. I didn't do the packaging technique on this. I know. What is going on? I didn't want to do too much more on the background since all of those mason jars just look so cool and they look so pretty and I love all the colors, and so I thought I'll just add some splatters to kind of add to the messy factor, and that will be that. I felt like if I added any packaging and big splotches on the background, it would blend in too much with the mason jars. And I don't know who I saw roll a roll of paper towels over the dots, but that was a genius thing. I love doing that now. I don't know who I saw it. Maybe it was Inky Quill. Somebody did that, and yeah, I just decided to try it. Now, I did some stitching here, just some straight white stitching across each of the jars, just for the sake of having some stitching on there. I just felt like stitching. Again, kind of random. Who stitches through mason jars? But I like the way it looks, and I left the strings kind of hanging, so it looks kind of messy and whimsical. Those are the pictures I'm going to wind up using. I mainly chose those because they've been sitting on my desk for a while, but the colors matched. The green matches. She's got some pink and some yellow in her swimsuit. And so, again, leaves and mason jars. I guess you could put leaves in mason jars, but they're not related, and that's okay. I'm going to use it, and this is how it's going to look, and that's the way it is. I did pull out some matching thread, and I'm going to do one of each of the 4 colors there on the tops, the side, the bottom, blue, pink, yellow, and orange. And then I used some leftover foam on the backs of the pictures, as well as some tissue paper, and I am going to raise it up. And this layout actually has quite a bit of dimension because of the mason jars. Now, this is another new product available in the Precious Remembrance shop, and it's a set of die cuts, and there's a bunch of them in there. There's 53 pieces, and this is from the Love Coupon Bits and Pieces set. And I'm just going to use 3 of these little die cut heart circles because they matched the pink jars. And then this is a random sticker sheet from Me and My Big Ideas that I got at Michael's a while ago. And I'm just going to use some of these little clear stickers. That one at the top says Take Photos. The other one says Explore. I don't wind up using this one, but I wish it looked a little bit different. It says Stop and Stare. And it fit perfectly inside that mason jar. And looking at it now, I kind of like it, but I wind up taking it off. This is an old, well, I don't know how old, older puffy sticker sheet from Heidi Swapp. And I'm going to use that Orange Wonder, mainly because I always wonder what she's thinking when she's searching for leaves, and because it was orange and it matched. And then these are some Bella Boulevard alphas, and I'm going to mix and match blue with green, and my title is going to be simply Leaf Hunter. And I do glue those down because it's kind of hard to get those little tiny alphas to stick, especially when you've got paint or any type of anything with texture behind it. So yeah, then I decided, hey, I should add some butterflies because, you know, mason jars and leaves. So this is a leftover sheet from the Paige Evans Turn the Page collection. I believe it's paper 4. I've used these butterflies a few times, but they matched. I cut out some pink ones, some yellow ones, some light aquas, and that darker reddish coral color. And I like how that looks. I think it looks cute. I am going to add my journaling. And I had a comment on one of my recent videos asking me how I decide where to put my journaling. I just kind of look for little nooks and crannies, like right there underneath the pink jar to the left of the blue jar. It's a perfect little area to just kind of tuck it in. So in this one, you know, I could have put it anywhere on the left, but I just decided to kind of tuck it in there, and every layout's different. This is the date stamp set, and this is just a little piece here that's got, I think it just says date. What does it say? On this day. Just a little added detail, and I'm just going to write my title there, or my date. And there's the final layout. I did add a few more splatters, but yeah, there's my random mason jar layout. Even though it's random, I absolutely love it. I love the colors. I think the pictures match really well. I love all the stringy thread from the stitching and everything. And the watercolor on those stamps was great. I highly recommend you trying to watercolor on a stamp instead of just using an ink pad, because you get a totally different look. It doesn't have to be perfect. Look at the dimension there. I love how they curled up when they dried. But let me know if you have any questions about any of the stamps or anything. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.